Hello and welcome back to Empyrion Galactic Survival. My name is Spanj, and today we're building a brand new SV. Now, so far we've had the Nightshade range of small, fast, early game fighters, from the Nightshade B, the Mark II, the Mark III, and finally the Mark IV at the back there, which takes a whole new style. And then we had the CX experimental series of craft. So this is the CX23 on the right, CX24 Angel Wing, and the 103 Skywhaler back there, which is just some weird monstrosity. I don't know what I was thinking, but there it is. And then of course we've got the Reavers range of SVs, the kind of mid-range heavy fighter bombers, which are capable of some PvP interactions as well. And now I'm going to build something completely different. Okay, so let's start the ship with a basic frame, length and width. I end up with this cross kind of thing every single time I build a CV. Always seems to resemble a cross. So I want this SV to, well, it's kind of heavily inspired by the Liberator, which is a build by The Chisels. You might have seen it in one of my previous videos, but it's a CV, and it has a very distinctive ring all the way around the outside, and all the thrusters are laid on the inner sphere of this ring, and I want to do an SV version of that, but at the same time I want to make it my own. So let's try and start with the ring. I'm going to use some engines here to gauge kind of how wide the ring needs to be, and then you're going to see if I can outline the basic ring. Okay, so the basic ring is done, but it's off center. I'm just going to finish off sort of tidying up the edges on the inner side of it, and then what I'm going to do is going to use copy and paste to make it actually round, because at the moment it's more kind of oblong and stuff. So this is all pretty straightforward, but let's use copy and paste to sort that out. That's much better. So it's now round. So I can tidy up the edges on this ring and actually finish it. And then we can get on with the rest of the ship. Okay, with the ring done and now looking pretty round, we can get the frame done for the rest of the ship. So I want to do something quite unique looking. So obviously the ring in itself is a fairly distinctive feature, but I want the front of the ship to also be pretty distinctive. And I'm kind of feeling some inspiration from my Crusader tanks, the hover vessels, because one thing that I really like about the Crusader's design is the prongs that come out the front of the tank are really good at soaking up the shots and basically distracting incoming fire to the edges of the tank rather than the center. So I want to try and take kind of those lessons here, put them into this SV. With the basic frame done, I can now start adding some meat to these bones and see how this thing takes shape. Again, I'm not really sure how to do these prongs type things at the front yet, and I'm also not sure that they're long enough yet either, and I need to get some engines in the back there. So let's start placing some blocks and see what happens. Okay, so we're starting to get a bit more shape now, and usually at this point of the build is when I'm absolutely hating what I've done, and it's absolutely no different here. I hate everything about this already. But I've done this long enough now that I know that when you hate a build that you're working on, if you keep at it and you keep going, you can actually end up with something pretty good. So I'm going to persevere here. Things aren't looking kind of exactly how they looked in my mind, but they rarely do, to be honest. So I got to a point now where I've obviously put in some cockpit kind of orientated blocks in. The engines, the forward ones at least there, we've got the ones on the ring as well, and I've done some sweeping connections back from the ring to connect to the rear of the ship, which I thought was a different way of doing it. And it's kind of reverse logic in a way on how you would secure that ring to the ship. Normally you would just have it sort of fixed almost directly, but the sweeping back arms there I think are fairly unique, along with the ring itself. Now we're getting some proper meat on the bones anyway, so let's see where this ends up, shall we? Okay, so it's looking a bit different now. I've made it longer at the front because the dimensions are all out of whack, but now I've put so many blocks on this thing, I'm really starting to worry about weight and you know, mass. And I'm not sure if the engines that I've got on this thing are going to be capable of really giving it all that much oomph, to be honest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shove some generators and fuel tanks in this thing, and I'm going to put them all in the ring itself, because there's a lot of sort of empty space in that ring. And being on the outside of the ship, well, especially with the generators that can actually be targeted, it should help sort of spread out any damage, and that's the theory at least anyway, and also hopefully encourage some shots that miss. I've noticed something else as well as I've sort of placing everything in ready to give it a quick test fly. I haven't got any reverse thrust yet. I just need to quickly whack on some reverse thrust. Yeah. I do that a couple of times in this build. It's kind of like flying around something with one of those dog collar things that you get from the vets on its neck. I feel like I got a cone over my head when I'm flying and turning around, but it flies fine. The sideways thrust is a bit sluggish. The reverse and forward thrust is fine, and the up and down thrusts seem to be okay, but again a little bit on the sluggish. I think basically because all the maneuvering thrusters, my left, right, up and down, are all in that ring, and they're all medium thrusters, so I might need to add some more in to address that shortages, but at the moment I'm pretty happy with the way it handles. I'll do some atmospheric testing later, but let's carry on with the build. So I'm at the stage now where I'm sort of thinking about adding some fluff to this build. You know, I'm adding weapons in now, so I've chosen to go with pulse lasers at the front, and then everything else I'll kind of put around the ring or in the center of the ship. But I want obviously the front, because these prong things, they're just sort of flat and boring and lifeless. I want to do something with that to bring them to life, to add a little bit more flair to them. And with the ring as well, the whole way around the ring is just flat sides and it's a flat surface, so I'm gonna have to do something to that. But we're really getting there now. If we're at the stage where we're adding fluff to the build, then the shape, the overall shape, is pretty much done, and it's looking interesting. I think it will look a lot better once we got all this fluff attached to it and we're actually giving it a bit of character. At the moment it's all a bit of a lifeless, dull, flat bore, despite the quite interesting shape of the damn thing. But let's see how it turns out. So here she is, the not quite finished product. I haven't put any texture or paint on her yet, but this is all the sort of block placing and extra sort of fluff and stuff that I'm going to stick on it. Let me turn my flashlight on. There we go. You can actually see it now. So you see I've put some of these great modular wings on there to just give it an extra bit of character and style. And you could probably guess a lot of the textures that I'm going to be using. But you can see here the way I've done these pulse lasers at the front to give them a little bit more character, along with these modular wings on the side to make it look like they're not alone up the front there. I've added some more. I've had to add some more thrusters. They're just small thrusters all the way down the inside of these prongs, just to give it a little bit more left and right thrust, and they'll also act as target decoys as well for the front of the ship, which hopefully will mean the middle section of the ship will remain relatively untouched. Even if it doesn't, however, there is layers upon layers of lag shot armor there until you get to the cockpit and the core. So that is probably the most heavily armored part of the ship, which is why the core is there. Yeah, some more of these modular wings. I've actually hidden a couple of the Gatlins out on the outside there. There's those 4, and there's 2 on the outside here. Railguns at the top. Plasma launchers and homing rockets on the sides, and normal rocket launchers on the bottom here. So you've got all available vanilla weaponry on this ship. I've added some more piping and sort of stuff, fluff, to the edges back quarter here, which I think looks pretty cool. Again, I think it will look a lot better once it's textured, so bear with it, bear with it. In the back here, I'm quite happy with the way that the back turned out, again using a lot of these modular wings to give it a bit more flat. Making my own wings with these blocks and stuff, so it's all very sort of angular and spiky, which is great. And in the inside, you've got some signal logic to open the back doors here. In here, we've got some cargo O2 armor lockers, fridges, with some piston and Stabaya kitchen thingy-majigs here. We've got our cargo boxes up in the ceiling there, as along with our warp drive. I can open and close the cargo hatches with that switch there. I've got a fuel tank just on the wall here, so you've got quick access. You don't have to use the P menu if you don't want to. You can see the O2 tanks tucked away in there. There's a lot of plastic blocks in here just to keep the weight down, basically. And then to get into the cockpit, you just sort of come up this ramp here and you can click on it, and there you can get in. And if we look around, I've put some basic kind of LCDs around to make the cockpit feel a little bit more alive, and it will feel even more alive once I give it some texture. We've got one passenger seat as well, just behind, which I've set up as a kind of weapons operator position, kind of like a 2-seater bomber in real life. That's pretty much the interior, nothing exciting or special. You've got everything you need from constructors' fridges and cargo and stuff, so it's fully functional. You got some nice mood lighting and some signal logic to let you out. Now obviously landing this thing on a planet is going to be interesting, because well, it's got this bloody great big ring around it, so but however, the center of gravity does mean that if you land it on a flat surface, it will balance perfectly on the ring. So I have attached some landing pads on the bottom of the ring for you, so that you can actually land it and you can actually dock it to things. So there we go. That is the Infinity X1. So like I said at the beginning, we've got all the different ranges of ships that I've built: the Nightshades, the Reavers, the CXs. This is a new range called the Infinity range. Well, it's not a range yet, it's just one bloody ship, but you know, I'm thinking that other ships that I build in this class will have that distinctive ring, or similar versions of that ring all the way around. So it'll be interesting to see what I come up with, I guess. But this is the first one, X1, because you got an X with the wings and it's infinite. Yeah, you get it, X1. I don't need to explain the name to you. Anyway, let's do a live fire test, and before I commit to texturing this monstrosity, let's see how it handles up against some PvE targets. Okay, we're going to give the Infinity X1 here a test. I've brought it onto one of the playfields in the Shattered Realm scenario. This is Tex 913A. It's part of the Xerox homeworld, and it is absolutely swarming in drones and POIs and patrol vessels. Yeah, I don't think we're going to survive this, but we're going to give it a go anyway. Just going to give a cheeky reload. All weapon systems are active. Yeah, no texture yet. I'm going to test it before I do any texturing. It is a bit sluggish because of the size and the weight of the damn thing. It is size class 4 for an SV. It's fairly chunky, 275 tons. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna struggle, I think, on the fast maneuvers. This is certainly no Nightshade, that's for sure. But let's give it a go anyway. I'm gonna possibly use the rocket launchers the most. The plasma cannons, they're always good for quick firing, high damage. Pulse lasers are okay, I guess, for taking down drones. Normal rocket launchers. The railguns I never really use anyway. So we're going to go around. First of all, we're going to hit up some drones with our Gatlins. So do expect a bit of lag on this because it's going to be spawning in a lot of drones and a lot of... Holy crap, you see them already. Look at all these schmucks. What's my range? 296 on the Gatlins. So about now. Hello, Fortress. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna fly away from you. Oh boy. Oh, there's a lot of drones. Oh, there's a load of drones. I can't see anything. I don't know what I'm shooting at. There we go. That's better. There's that lag. Come at me, bros. What you got, huh? What you got? Is this a fair fight? Not really. Whoa, cheeky. Pull up, pull up, pull up. So we've got to be a bit careful with this damn thing because it's so heavy it can fall out of the sky like a rock. And I suppose, as expected, it is reasonably good. Dogfighting with a ton of drones. Can't hit me, fools. Yeah. Oh, that's a rock. God damn, these rocket launchers are kind of crap at... not rocket launchers, these lasers are kind of crap at destroying drones, aren't they? Hey, switch to rockets. They seem to do a pretty damn good final job. I've got all these drones, man. There's a lot of them. Some of them are just sort of hanging in the air. See you later. There's a big drone. I don't want to race these rockets on the little ones. Come on, what's my kill count now? Let's track. Oh, hello, cheeky. Dodged it. It's good reverse thrust. That was alright. Okay. A fortress. I haven't seen a fortress in a while. And what the hell is this? I don't recognise this at all. Alright. I'm going to be taking a lot of damage from that fortress, I suspect. Easy now, easy now. Crikey. Getting a bit antsy, aren't they? Right, what have we got over here? I don't want to quite take the fortress on just yet. I want to clear the ground so that I can maneuver. These little lag spikes are not helpful. Hi! Those rockets just despawned. Go. Go. Any more? No, I didn't think so. Oh, we had a cheeky little defense platform over here, didn't we? Whoa! There goes that. Any more missiles on that thing? I don't think there are. It's just Mr. Fortress now. It's you and me, Fortress. Are these hitting? I don't know if I'm in range. Now they are. Alright, I was out of range. I'm losing blocks. Another one. This is where I'm really hoping that the way I've laid this thing out, it can outlast these guns. Come on. There goes something else. I don't know if the sound is glitching or what. I feel like I would have lost half the front of the ship by now. It's the down lag spikes. Every time I hear one of those little explosions, I'm like, oh god. That is one fortress. Dead! That is about 3,000 drones. 3 normal POIs and 1 Xenu Fortress, all dead. With 1, oh, I exited the cockpit. 1 SV, and all it took was 4 pulse lasers and maybe a couple of thrusters. Let's have a look. Definitely the design of the ship worked out exactly how I wanted it to. So these front prongs should be attracting most of the fire incoming. So pulse laser was here. I think we had a side thruster. That's still intact. In fact, all of the thrusters are still intact. So we've lost 3 of the 4 pulse lasers on the front. We've taken a lot of block damage. Even the reverse thrusters hidden behind these lag shot blocks are still intact. Yep. So that, I'm pretty happy with that. That's not bad at all. As long as you're quick on the trigger. Oh, we did lose a couple of wings actually on the side, look. Ah, I didn't notice this. Yeah, we've taken some hits on the side. Yes, 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 that would make sense actually, because we were flying around the fortress for a while. So, no more weapons. We've lost some of the custom wings that we had. Yeah, on this side as well. These blocks are damaged, but I'm assuming internally we're okay. We're looking good. Looks okay. Yeah, all still there. And I don't think any shots really came back to the sensitive area back here. Cabin, so I think... Did we lose anything here? Oh, we might have lost... No, there wasn't anything there. Sorry, ignore me. These fuel tanks, generators in the ring, and the RCSs, they all seem to still be there. Yeah, pretty happy with that. That is the Infinity X1. I'm going to go away and texture and paint this thing now. And if you want to get your hands on it, there will be a premium version available on Shattered Realm, and they'll also be available to my patrons, but it will not be on the workshop. Certainly not in the immediate future anyway. I might add it on later on, but for now, it's a premium vessel on Shattered Realm and freely available to my patrons. So yeah, just thank you again to all my patrons as well. You guys are awesome, really helping me out. If you want to support me, check out my Patreon, link down below. That would be awesome, and you would be in the awesome club, and you get this ship and the Reavers Fury as a thank you for your support and help. But that is all for me for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Till then, take care. Bye bye.